وَلَأَجْرُ الْآخِرَةِ خَيْرٌ لِّلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَكَانُوا يَتَّقُونَ.
I wanted to film this vlog for a few weeks, but I kept postponing because I was like, oh, it's so awkward being on camera. But actually, this is better than my Instagram content because this is a lot more casual. But, anyways, I can only film inside because of what's happening on the outside and all the strikes. So, I'm only filming inside. On Tuesday, I was supposed to have an exam in uni, and I don't know what's happening with that. But I'm still studying for it, regardless, because it might be conducted online. I'm not sure. So for now, I have an IT exam I'm studying for, and there is something I want to talk about, but more on that later.
لو كانت الدنيا تعدل عند الله جناح بعوضة ما سقى كافرا منها شربة ماء. الدنيا كالحلم تمر مر السحاب، ساعة من زمن ثم تنقضي، ألا إنها رحلة بدأت وسوف تنتهي. قال صلى الله عليه وسلم: الدنيا سجن المؤمن وجنة الكافر. وقال: ما لي وللدنيا، ما مثلي ومثل الدنيا إلا كراكب سار في يوم صائف فاستظل تحت شجرة ساعة من نهار ثم راح وتركها. وقال: كن في الدنيا كأنك غريب أو عابر سبيل. وقال: ما الفقر أخشى عليكم، ولكن أخشى أن تبسط الدنيا عليكم كما بسطت على من كان قبلكم، فتنافسوها كما تنافسوها فتهلككم كما أهلكتهم.
A while ago, I saw a Arabic saying, and it really stuck with me. And it says, إن أفنيت عمرك في جني السلاح فمتى تقاتل. And if I'm going to very humbly translate to English, it means if you spend your life gathering ammunition, when are you going to fight? And I think this is really relevant to everything we see today, because you always see people saying, oh, I read this book, I've listened to this podcast, I've attended this lecture, but then you don't see them applying anything of what they learned. It's just that they're collecting, they're hoarding information, but then you don't see any action and any result of it. It's like someone who's trying to build a house, okay? They gather the bricks, the cement, all the equipment they need, but then they never actually build the house. And it's just really inefficient, while at the same time making you feel as if you've done something, which you have, because gathering information and having knowledge is hard, and it takes a lot of effort, and it's needed. It's the first step to actually having success and actually building action. But at the same time, you cannot forget that action comes after having the knowledge. Now, why is it important that we're talking about this? Why does it matter if I say, do not just collect ammunition and actually go fight your fight, go build your house? It's because sometimes we forget the original goal. Some people think that maybe reading the Quran once or having a lot of hadith knowledge makes you different or distinct or unique. It does in some sort of way, but at the same time it doesn't if you're not applying it. It's the same in any other technical skill. If you're a very good cybersecurity person, but you haven't actually completed any projects and you haven't actually done anything practical with your skill, all you have is a degree, for example, then you aren't really any much better than anyone else who has a degree. You have to actually apply your skill. Knowing concepts doesn't mean that you're actually competent. You have to show it. You have to give evidence. And it's the same in everything in life. Now, collecting information is the first step to success, but it's not all the way. You need action to actually get all the way there. If you had only one bullet and you fired it and it hit the target, you'd be in a much better situation than if you just collected tens and tens of bullets and ammunition, but never actually firing the weapon. Now, the weapon here is a metaphor for action. All those stored bullets were nothing and achieved nothing valuable than that just one single bullet that you actually fired. We also see this in the Prophet's friends. For example, Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh, he spent 12 years memorizing Surah Al-Baqarah. And his son, Abdullah ibn Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anh, also spent 8 years on Surah Al-Baqarah. Why is that? Why did they spend all those years on the one surah? It's because that they applied as they learned. It wasn't just about memorizing the surah. It was about actually living every ayah in their day. So remember, even more important than gathering a huge quantity of knowledge is actually applying what you learn. Because if you spend your life collecting ammunition, then when are you going to fight?